All right, for those just tuning in, we just finished up our matchup with the Necrons and the DeathWatch with a final score. Necrons 76 to a DeathWatch 60. A lot of people question my damage output. I got you down to a Rhino.
Nearly tabled me, yep.
Yep, and but the big part was durability. That was the big archetype with it, with reanimation and everything else, was trying to be more durable. And I lost the Wraiths to one crazy amount of volume of shooting that came off. And then everything else I was able to be resilient. Catan was super resilient. Xeris lives forever. And Scorpec Lord, he's a hero.
Not a hero of the Imperium. We're not big fans of him over here. But no, it's definitely a lot. The thing with DeathWatch is we don't have any defensive abilities other than Armor or Contempt, and GW nerfed Armor or Contempt, so it only works for a single activation, not the whole phase. So, but none of the units have any built-in defenses, so DeathWatch absolutely have to kill you as fast as possible, because if you start killing them, they're just Marines. You know, some of them are T6, some of them are Terminators, but at the end, they're just Marines, so they do just die if they haven't done enough damage output. So picking up the Wraiths was good early on, but then the slapback killed my two big kill units or tied them up. So it was rough on the DeathWatch.
Yeah, and then like you said, there is that point where they are Marines. That toughness for the 3-up save starts to matter, and then like the squad that was in the back, they live for a while, and the Catacomb Command Barge is not a big damage dealer, but it's durable, and eventually over time with a 2-wound AP3 profile, it's going to pick up some guys.
It's going to kill them all. Yeah.
That 6-up Feel No Pain gets annoying with that, though.
You're going to complain about my Feel No Pain?
As soon as
Get
the words,
off this channel.
As soon as the words came out of my mouth, I'm like,
you're poor. Good God, DJ,
right
shut up. Yeah, you've got Wraiths with 5-up Feel No Pains and 4-up Invulns. I don't believe I had a 4-up Invuln stacked with a Feel No Pain anywhere.
And I have a Scorpec Lord.
Scorpec Lord, and you got your Satan with its friggin' damage. Yeah, shut up about Feel No Pains. I won't hear it.
Xeris has a Feel No Pain too.
Yeah, I know. Everybody has a Feel No Pain. I know. I tried killing things. I charged the Scorpec Lord with 5 Terminators and did 2 wounds to him. And then, of course, he just healed back to full the next turn. So that was pretty ridiculous.
Yeah. The big part of this list, though, I was trying to do was I wanted to be able to have enough coverage across the board, score points consistently, keep moving the needle, keep moving the scoreboard. Scoring 76 in that aspect of like trying to be a scoring list is probably a little low, but I didn't hold my home field objective, which is very important in this mission.
Yeah, this mission, you don't want to lose it.
Yeah.
You were able to swing back on primary pretty big in the last turn there, but I did take that from you for a couple turns.
Yeah, and so that was kind of a misplay where it's like I'd have to look back and make sure that I don't let that happen in that sense for this mission.
You know what I just realized, DJ?
What?
I forgot to bring in my other DeathWatch veteran squad with the judiciar. So you may have won, but it's only because I played down 200 points. Yeah, 200 points. So.
But I got them too, because according to the rulebook,
they're dead. Yeah, they're dead. I totally forgot to bring them in.
Oh my gosh, you did.
I gotta set them in the dice box or something. No,
man, wow.
Great. Yeah.
Wow, that's harsh.
So you have a win, but there's an asterisk by it.
Oh, there's no asterisk. I did nothing.
There's an asterisk in my heart.
You might want to get that looked at.
Right.
That's probably that might be. Is that contagious? Should I worry about that?
It's DeathWatch specific asterisk.
So now
I completely forgot to bring that in.
That's insane. That's crazy.
And they were my counterpunch for when you charged me, because I
got you so flustered.
I could rapid ingress them and then heroic them in and then fight first. So
my Catan got you flustered.
Yeah, yeah.
So now the big point is to move into that next level is, as some people mentioned, where I kind of lacking the punch, lacking the damage. What do I do against the big hitters in the meta? So that's kind of where I want to move next with this thing is, I want you to bring something. I feel Custodes. Anyone out there, please talk to us in the comment section. What's the next phase for me to go against with this list? And like, this is a time where I tell, like, when Lane and I are testing stuff and I go, cool, this looks good. I like this. What do you think's going to punch me in the face? Bring it and punch me in the face with it so we can say, okay, this needs to change or that. I'm not against the concept of possibly dropping the Immortals out and going over to just like a double squad of Wraiths out of this build, which could be very nice in that durability. But what I was hoping for with the Immortals, they did. They played into the late game. They were able to cover their high OC value. They went from one side to the other.
Yeah, functionally having a 12-inch move because they have the flat advanced 6 and the assault weapons. So
yeah, basically, yeah. So it's really, I like them a lot. And it's a big brick that just gets kind of obnoxious, and it's some shooting that I don't have elsewhere. I don't have a lot of shooting. So I do like having them. But before, moving into those baby steps, what army? What armies do I need to go into? We talk about a vehicle heavy meta. Which armies? I think initially, if you're saying vehicle heavy, Custodes.
Yeah, I mean, Custodes, Iron Hands, Space Marines, Vanguard Space Marines. There's a lot of different things.
Is Vanguard Space Marine vehicle heavy, or is it more infantry heavy because of being able to have up-down units like the up-down Centurions and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, Centurions are basically vehicles. Toughness 7, 2-up armor. They're basically vehicles. Now, a lot of the popular lists now run a couple Vindicators and a couple Ballistus Dreadnoughts because they have 2-up armor. And in the Vanguard, you're always negged to hit, and they're always kind of cover if they're more than 12 inches away. So they're very hard. That 2-up armor is very hard to get to when they're neg hit and considered in cover all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And they hit pretty hard. And when you run a Marine list that doesn't have any of the data sheets that take away the +1 to wound and the oath, they hit very hard. The Vindicator strength 14, so it hits the oath target and it wounds on 2s. I don't care what your toughness is, it wounds you on 2s. If your toughness 13, it still wounds you on 2s if you're the oath target. So yeah, I'll think about it. You guys throw some comments on what you think will give the Necrons a hard time. I've got a bunch of different armies, so a lot of different things we could try.
Definitely, yeah. Like I said before, this is where I'm starting. This is a list where a lot of the units I have in it are units I'm very, very comfortable with. I'm comfortable with how they function, how they play. Probably the only thing I was really not as comfortable with was the Catan. Right. I wasn't 100% sure where and how to position him, but I think at the end of it, he worked well. I was able to get him in a good position to put the race out there. You took out the race, and then she came in there and said, "Hi guys, let's party." And she can be swingy because the way her profile can be very, very swingy. She was on this game big time. I think every time I attack with her, I would hit with 7 and sustain one of them. So she was very, very on this game. But again, in that D6 damage profile, we saw that a bit. We saw that a bit when I was rolling it, where it's like, okay, cool. These 3 damage models, roll it, 3, 1. And then when that 1 hits, it's like, ugh, now another attack has to go in here to take this out. And with something that's 295 points, you really don't want her getting slowed down by things like that. So there's things like that that are a little swingy, but the resilience is just insane on that thing. Like, I can see where it can go the other way. I think the biggest fear is honestly just a high volume shooting that's re-rolling and lethal is just going to is the bane of a Catan.
Yeah. A lot of your units later in the game, especially, nothing I did mattered. It doesn't matter if I charge with Terminators to punch something, just because Xeris, the Catan, the Scorpek Lord with the Feel No Pain enhancement, I just wasn't getting anything damaged through, and then they reanimate and heal full back to health. So early in the game, when I still had my killing units, I could kill things, but once they got whittled down, smaller units just didn't do anything. I barely killed the Reanimator with the Terminators and Cyclones, and barely killed the Satan that had 1 wound left when I charged in. So it was just, there's so much of what I did didn't matter because the resilience on so many units. You can put them all up there. It takes way too much to kill them. Your opponent has to put everything into one thing to kill it, and then that leaves the rest to run through, or they spread their damage out and just don't kill anything, and then it still
starts healing and starts coming back and that. Yeah, and even if I do take out the Immortals, honestly, Xeris will probably stay in. I mean, he's just, in the Awakened Dynasty, it's just, how do you take him down? You have to battle shock him to really take him out, because otherwise, you know, you finish him off, you do all that work, you get through his wounds, you get through his toughness, you get through his 2-up, his 4-up, feel no pain, and then, okay, 1 command point, stand him back up, half his wounds remaining. Chances are you killed him in combat, which means then it's going to my turn, and then he's healing D3. So he's just almost back at full health. You did all this work, and it's just like, okay, second life right away. So, I mean, and there's a part of me too, like with things like that, that makes me look back at that character build, man. That character build was something fun, but
it was something.
So, all right. But yeah, guys, let us know. This is what I'm testing, and I want to go now. It's time to go into the heavier, the darker side of the meta. And it seems like the common census is I'm having a rough time with vehicles and damage output. So the vehicles damage output, what do you guys think? Let us know. All right, everybody. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon.